Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of our Montreal Canadiens franchise mode, episode 2, where we will be showing you guys the playoffs, our first playoffs of this series. We are going against the Tampa Bay Lightning. So let's take a look at their roster. I don't think I made any trades with them or anything, but obviously they're really top heavy, especially in the forward category. They have a Gensel, Point, Kucherov, and Hagel, which is a crazy in your top six, especially Kucherov, who had 93 points in 82 games this year. They still have some good depth in Corey Perry. You got Nick Paul, Yanni Gourde. They're probably good 30, 40 point guys. So yeah, 30, 40, literally exactly I predicted. Defense gets a little worse. Radish isn't as, I mean, I was literally gonna say he's not as good as he is IRL, but this guy has 56 points on the third pair, so never mind. Hedman still 76 points as a defenseman is crazy. And Vasilevsky probably, 905 save percentage could be better, but still a 91 overall elite goaltender, which we don't have. And they also have Luke Shen, who isn't even playing. I know they acquired him from Buffalo in the trade deadline or whatever, but I guess that's just for injury purposes. Or he could even play in that first pair with. Oh, they acquired Van Riemsdyk too, I guess, because he was on Washington last I saw. This is not Tampa. He was on Washington last I saw. Yeah, it was definitely a guy I was interested in acquiring. He's 17 points as a defensive defenseman, so pretty good stats. But instead, we acquired Mancini, who I think we could re-sign. He's a good depth piece. But yeah, we'll take a look at our lines before we start this series. We have Matthew Nyes with Suzuki and Caulfield. Second line is going to be Demidov with Hayton and Slavkovsky. So Hayton only 8 points in 25 games. Definitely not as good as I was hoping. So we can actually try to do something like Nye, Slavkovsky, and or what if we tried? Yeah, it still doesn't make a huge difference. So we do Hayton, Nice, Hayton, Slavkovsky. Kraus, I think he's actually been pretty good for us as a third, like shooting 14% right now, but as a third liner, 5 points, pretty good. Evans ends the year with 24 points, but a -3. Bolduc with 30. Let me see. Dano ended with 24. If I did something like this, yeah, Evans, Texier, Olivier gets a +2. If I get Dano on that third line there, so he had a pretty good stats on the second line before we moved him down because of Hayton. So we'll see, yeah, if he accepts that. So we'll put him on that um, third line. Hopefully we get a +1 there. We do, yep, so that's good. You could also move him up too if Hayden doesn't play good in the playoffs. Yeah, that's good for now. Now we have Hudson and Dobson. Still can't get Dobson that first pair like line fit, but we'll work on that hopefully later on. Mancini, I'm trying this shutdown pair, but he's probably not been that good. He got 20 minutes. Gooley was a -3 his game log. Let's see. They played 20 minutes together, didn't do much. So, just trying to figure out what the best lines would be. We'll try. We'll start with Jack Eye in the lineup with Carrier. Or if we did something like this. He's listed as an enforcer. Okay. Interesting. 84 penalty minutes. Okay. Mancini. So this is going to be, a decent pairing defensively. Then we have we'll rock with these lines. So Montembeau and net with Dobish as the backup, and we'll have Kapanen on the bench with Struble and Balinskis. I won't be, like we'll definitely be able to see if we can get Kapanen up there, on the third line even could be possible. Just to see if we move, yeah, even to know if we want to bench Evans, for example, we can definitely have Kapanen playing in there. But without further ado, let's sim into game one of the Stanley Cup playoffs in 2026. First period, a big goal from Uri Slavkovsky. Second period, Bolduc gets one. Braden Point gets one for the first goal for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Big third period here, and we get it done. Dobson and Caulfield with the goals. Corey Perry, former Montreal Canadian. Hagel, fun fact, actually also a former Montreal Canadian. Well, technically never played a game for them, but he did go to the training camp, and we didn't sign him, which was definitely in Mark Bergevin's time, which is definitely a big miss. But other teams also skipped out on him, like Chicago, for example. Maybe they traded him to Tampa, but Austin Krause with the first star, actually 2 points. That might be a sneaky good trade by us. And Texie actually gets injured with a fractured jaw, and he's listed as May 2nd. Okay. So times like this is where you bring in a guy like Oliver Kapanen. He could play that fourth line right there. We'll get him on the right side. Olivier will stay there on the fourth. So yeah, like Texas is probably gonna be out like the whole playoffs unless we like make the finals, pretty much. I mean, or second round. He'll be back if we make it. So we'll sim right into the second game. These are both in the Emily Arena in Florida. And Olivier with a big goal on Vasilevsky to make it 1-0. 1-1 now. Holmberg with 4:07 left in the period. Or into the period, sorry. And now we're going to go into overtime. We're not going to go into overtime for this game just since it's game two, but we'll sim it. And unfortunately, Braden Point will get the goal. A great game for Vasilevsky. We're not getting much goal scoring right now. I mean, we got 4 in the first game, so it's 1-1 right now. Let me take a look, see if the AHL team in the playoffs. I don't think they did, but yeah, they're not in the playoffs, which is fine. We'll sim into game 3, the first game at the Bell Center. First period, 1-1. Demidov and Perrier goal scores 2 goals. Olivier with a shorthanded one, and Bolduc to get it to 3-1. 5-1, a big game, a power play goal from Jack Eye, and another shorty from Matthew Olivier. A 5-1 win for the Montreal Canadiens. What a win in the Bell Center. So a good save percentage for Montembeault right now. I actually didn't even know I had Olivier on the penalty kill. It's interesting. Let me see what Nyes has done. He's only had one. Yeah, we'll definitely switch this up. We'll put the original lines. Hayton, has he been good? -2. If we move like Evans up there, put Hayden down. Yeah, it's been all. Yeah, we'll do something like that. Okay. Defense is good. Should be good. Yeah, we actually have Jack Eye with Slavkovsky, Nyes, Kraus, Hayden. That's good. What penalty kill is Olivier even? He's on the third line. All right. Let me just switch this with Kraus. Olivier, Kraus. Dunno. We'll do something like that. Honestly. Let's get Dobson on this first pair. Evan, Suzuki, Dano, Olivier, Carrier, Jack Eye. I like that. This is a good penalty kill. We get more ice time for Olivier on that penalty kill since, this guy loves scoring short-handed goals apparently. Let's go into game number 4. Montreal leads 2-1 in the series. First period, Demidov with the power play goal. Nothing in the second. Third period, nothing. A big 1-0 game. Great showing for Montembeault with a shutout. He doesn't want to be traded. He wants to stay in Montreal. Demidov with the goal and Vasilevsky with a good game, but not enough as Montembeault shuts the door. And Arbor Jackeye has been injured with the injured foot. That sucks. He was playing some pretty good hockey for us. That's really unfortunate. We'll probably get, yeah, we'll put Balinskis in there. Power play. He can play the power play. That's fine. So yeah, we're gonna be leading 3-1 on the Tampa Bay Lightning, and Texas is gonna be available for the next game. Right now, we'll leave it. I mean, we're winning games and everything, so no point in changing the lineup right now. We'll get into game 4. First period, a goal by Holmberg, and 2 other goals by the Tampa Bay Lightning. And yeah, it's gonna be 5-1. Another shorty for Matthew Olivier, but that won't be enough for the Montreal Canadiens. I definitely want to take a look and see how the second line is doing again because they were struggling a little bit. We moved up Matthew Nyes back on the first line. Still hasn't done much. First and second line have not been clicking. All right, we're going to put Slavkovsky there on the first. Evans has done absolutely nothing. Dano's done nothing, so we'll bring Hayton back up. Put Evans back down. Also, Evans hasn't done much, so we could see to bring Texier back. I mean, Kapanen hasn't done anything either. So yeah, we'll bring in Texier. Yeah, we'll just keep it like that. Olivier, Evans, Texier as the fourth line. Just change a little few things up. Maybe get in Struble one of these games. 1-1, Nyes gets a big goal. Holmberg, he's been scoring a few against us. And we'll go into the third. And Hagel, we get a huge goal for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Another great game by Montembeau, but it's not going to be enough. And I think this series is tied. The Balinskis was the -1. Balinskis, no, but it was Mancini as the -1. We'll try to change up that third pair, probably bring in Struble or something. And yeah, we're going to be heading into game 7. And Arberjack is actually going to be available, so never mind that. We're actually going to bring him in because he had a good showing the first couple games. Yeah, Jack Eye, and you know what? We'll move up Mancini, bring in Jack Eye Carrier. He's been a decent, um, you know, first, or it's been a decent third pairing for us. Let's try to see if we can get Dobson. A scheme fit. Nah, won't even let us. That's fine. All right. Well, we're just gonna sim this. Honestly, not a big deal if we lose this anyway. It's still a good year for Montreal. Made some good trades. A 4-0 Suzuki, Demidov, Caulfield, Hudson. The whole first and second lines going crazy. The first period, and Tampa gets 2 back. Game's not over yet. We score 4 unanswered, but they scored 2 right back, and they can score another 2. Hedman and Gord. We're gonna have to hop into this one. Let me see if I can get this to go. If I go CO, I think that's gonna let me change the lines and stuff. So we'll try that. Hop into the overtime here. Let's see if it lets me change the lines. Yep, that's good. Perfect. So I like to do some commentary here, so I got you guys with that. Slavkovsky with the puck, brings it in the neutral zone. Good pass to Suzuki. Suzuki to Slavkovsky, a good shot, but Vasilevsky with the better save. A lot of snow on him right now, but that's fine. It says 0 shots for both teams. Must be a glitch. I don't know if it'll update. There you go. 34 shots for the Montreal Canadiens versus 26. So Vasilevsky gets to make more saves this game. Dobson shoots it. Caulfield the rebound. Another good save by Vasilevsky. Montreal putting the pressure up right now. In game 7 overtime. Golden goal. Who's going to score the goal to send their team to the second round? A big face-off here. Suzuki wins it again. Dobson to Hudson. Hudson turns the puck over. That's going to be Nikita Kucherov coming up the wing. The Russian sniper point shoots. A big block there. I believe that's Nick Suzuki there. Sends it up to Caulfield. Slavkovsky. A deke. Can't get around him. Gets hit. Gensel the other way. Nice dekes from Gensel. Shoots it. Big save from Montembeau's first test of this overtime. And we'll get a face-off here in the Montreal zone. Victor Hedman here with a good defensive play. Huge hit on Slavkovsky and he stays down. Noah Dobson with 6 points in the playoffs highlighted there. And we'll get the second line on. Hayton, Nice, Demidov. 3 left-handed shooters, but number 27 there for Matthew Nyes. Looks pretty good in that Habs jersey. I wonder if we'll see him IRL one day in a Habs jersey. I mean, it's possible, but Montreal will definitely have to pay a lot for that. I'm surprised in game on hard trade difficulty. Let us trade Doc and Matheson for Nyes a second and more. And there you go. Demidov has those wheels. Number 93 from Montreal. Demidov. Oh, a good pass to Nyes, but he can't collect. Dobson defending the other way. A big hit from Noah Dobson. Matthew Nyes the other way. Matthew Nyes shoots a big save from Vasilevsky on that slap shot from Nyes. And Yanni Gourde will get the puck over. We could maybe get a line change in. Defense has been in the whole Hold zone. Get a line change there. Might be a little bit of a bad line change there by me, but good save by Montalvo. He'll cover it. There you go. We'll get those fresh legs on. Does that say captain on Noah Dobson? Why is Noah Dobson the captain? What? Alright, well, I'm gonna have to fix that after this game. Why is the game making Noah Dobson the captain when we got Nick Suzuki on the team? Alright, that's weird. I don't know if that's a visual glitch, but anyway, Bolduc in shoots, but the shot's blocked and a good smothered up by Vasilevsky. Lawson Krause, honestly, pretty good addition. He's on a cheap $4 million contract for a third liner power forward. Definitely what our bottom six needs. So, we'll look to keep him around for now. Bolduc hopefully can grow. I mean, he had 30 points on the third line. So, I mean, if he could be a second line center for us, that would be pretty good. We definitely would have to work on those faceoffs, I'm pretty sure. They're talking about Lawson Krause. He goes ahead. Lawson Krause to Bolduc. Shoots a good save by Vasilevsky. We'll get that first line back on, and we'll actually put them with the third pair with, I believe it's Jack-Eye and Carrier at the point. Nick Suzuki with a face-off. A big win. Carrier to Slavkovsky. Backhands it. They can't get a good shot off. Hagel the other way. Slavkovsky trying to hem him in the zone. Gets possession. Suzuki with a good shot. But a better save by Vasilevsky. Slavkovsky, Suzuki get the back. Oh, and he turns it right over Oliver Bjorkstrand to Brandon Hagel. Hagel shoots. Easy save from Montebo. Dobson the other way. Caulfield skates it up. Passes it to Slavkovsky. Up to Suzuki. Suzuki, Caulfield, he almost gets it through. That could have been a great chance for Montreal. Maybe their best of the overtime, but they couldn't get it done. Slavkovsky to Caulfield. Maybe we'll get a line change here. Second line on. Dobson brings it in. Dobson just gets hammered there. Good play by Montreal to get our line change done quickly. Up to Barrett Hayden. Barrett Hayden brings it in. Barrett Hayden is actually number 27. Number 25 is Nyes. Barrett Hayden gets hit. And a power play coming from the Montreal Canadiens. There you go. And the coach arguing there, and it looks like the Montreal Canadiens will be using their time out there to get their first unit out there. Suzuki, Caulfield, Demidov, Dobson, and Hudson. Suzuki loses a face-off, and that's gonna go dumped down the zone. Hudson will retrieve the puck. Hudson to Demidov to Suzuki. Suzuki brings it in. Suzuki with a nice move. Suzuki loses the puck to Eric Chernak. Nick Paul. Suzuki gets a bat. Suzuki shoots a big save by Vasilevsky. Definitely been Tampa Bay's best player of the game, at least in overtime. Got to give credit to the other players for tying it up, being down 4 goals in the first period. So the second pairing actually gets sent out right away. Let's see. Hudson retrieves the puck. I'm not sure why they made a line change so early. I'll actually switch it back to the first line. There you go. Suzuki back on. Caulfield. Caulfield, interesting move. Caulfield gets hammered, but Suzuki has the puck. Suzuki shoots a big save by Vasilevsky again. No rebound there for Demidov. I'll actually probably like to get Slavkovsky back on the power play because I don't see him even there. Like, we got Krause instead, but rather have Slavkovsky there. Big face off here if Suzuki can win it, and he loses it again to Yanni Gourde. Oliver Bjorkstrand the other way. Maybe a short-handed goal over here. Dobson to Demidov. Suzuki will switch to that second pairing. Oh, maybe a bad line change here, but they'll just dump it in. We'll get Caden Gooley out there. Demidov to Gooley. Suzuki. Caulfield. Caulfield to Carrier. Oh, big hit there. But Bjorkstrand will get it back, and Montreal will get it changing. Gooley has the puck now. Gooley. Pass it to Barrett Hayden. To Matthew Nyes. Yuri Slavkovsky's actually on the ice. He should be on the second power play. Krause, a big shot. A good save. Hayton keeps the pressure up. Slavkovsky. Blocked shot. Good pressure by Montreal. And Johnny Gourde on the breakaway with no stamina left. Good defensive play by Montreal there. Back the other way. Matthew Nyes. Matthew Nyes loses the puck, gets it back. Matthew Nyes, Lawson Krause shoots, scores! Lawson Krause, Game 7 overtime winner. And the Montreal Canadiens eliminate the Tampa Bay Lightning. And they're going to the second round. What a game. And what a goal for Lawson Krause. Wow. All right, well, we're back here in a Game 7 win for Montreal. Lawson Krause with the overtime winner there. Matthew Olivier down the fourth, and Texas hasn't done much for us. Only 5 minutes of time on ice for him. We'll see. Maybe he could play on the power play. He's a two-way forward though. But 5 points in 7 games for Lawson Krause. Do not sleep on him, man. He's been very good for us here. Can't say the same for the second line though. Baron Hayden has not been impressive. We're actually gonna move up Dano there to the second line. He had a pretty good first half of the season. Before I moved him down, his points totals went down, but we'll see if we did something like that. We could have Slav Demidov with Suzuki Caulfield, Nice Dano, Slavkovsky. I like that, so we'll do something like that for now. Hudson, Dobson, Gooley, Mancini, Carrier. Also put in like Struble or Balinskis. You know what? We'll try Balinskis there on the second pair. Montebo's been really good for us. Kind of glad we didn't trade, Olivier for Montebo. We didn't have to, and we didn't anyway. So it's a good win for us there. But yeah, Lawson Krause has really been surprising for me so far. Glad we didn't just flip him because that's what I was thinking of doing. And Florida Panthers will be the second team we face off. So Toronto, Tampa, Columbus, New Jersey gets eliminated in our division conference. So yeah, we'll see what happened with Toronto first round. Let's see what their lines are looking like now. Doc on the second pair. He actually had 4 points in 7 games. They went to 7 as well. See what they have. Matheson with 10. He had 4 points. So I mean, honestly, in hindsight, this year it did help them, but they didn't go far, and we still went further. But see, I was also thinking maybe we could get like Easton Cowan, but he wasn't available, so didn't want to, try to get players that they weren't making available. But I did get Knives, which he technically wasn't available, but they're interested in Doc and Matheson, especially Matheson. So anyway, first period, let's see it. 1-0. It's gonna be Barrett Hayton on that third line. Second period, 1-1. Barkov gets one back. Third period, 2-2. Slavkovsky in the power play. Sam Bennett, third period. And Demidov with the power play goal. And Montreal takes game 1 against Florida. We're playing all the the Florida teams. Montreal must be liking it. The weather there. 4-1 in the first period. Demidov, Carrier, Barrett Hayden, and Dano. So maybe switching them on those lines actually benefited us. So that's good. Marchand gets the goal. Forgot he was on Florida. Second period, another 2 goals. Krause and Olivier, 6-1 Montreal, and 2 more. Oh my God, Krause and Olivier, 2-goal games for each of them. 8-1 for Montreal, 3-point game for Krause, 2-point game for Olivier. Wow. I can't believe that this bottom 6 is just playing this well. It's actually kind of crazy. And Lawson Krause has 9 points for us in this playoff run. It's crazy. This guy's a point per game on the third line. Wow, okay. So definitely interesting to see. Yeah, we'll keep these lines for now. We'll just try to see if I can get Knies or Slavkovsky to buy in. That'd be really good. Just so we can get a +1 there. Maybe they'll sim better. No, he doesn't want to. I don't think I've asked Knies in a while, so we'll see. Maybe he can. Let's see. No, also nothing. That's okay. We're still simming really well at 8-1 win, dominant performance. We were playing, in Florida there. Now we're back in the Bell Center. Let's see, first period, 1-0 game. That's fine. 3 goals. Barrett Hayden, Nines, and Suzuki. Barrett Hayden on that third line is playing much better than the first line, so that's good. They tie it up in the third. Who scored the second? Matthew Tkachuk, obviously. Screw that guy. Montreal's going to start on a power play in the overtime. Let's see if they can score quickly here. Looks like they won't get nothing done. Florida actually scored. I thought we scored that. Sam Bennett scores. All right. Well, I guess right when the penalty ended, maybe he came out the box, got a goal. We still lead the series 2-1, but we take the overtime loss. It is what it is. Sam Montembeault still playing well so far. First period, Hayton and Nines. Hayton has gotten a goal like the last few games. We give up 2 in the second period, and we give up another 2, 5-2 performance. Let's see who's not playing that well. Probably or that's just their stats. Probably the defense. The defense that's struggling. I do have Balinskis there. Yeah, -2. Definitely have to get rid of him. Demidov, Coffin, Suzuki also a -2. Interesting. It always seems like the top 6 is having some issues. 7 points or 6 points. We've seen success with Knives in that first line. So Balinskis, he's been, actually in the playoffs, he's a +4 with 2 assists. So I can't complain, but maybe we just lower his minutes, we do something like this. We actually haven't tried Struble and Mancini sitting now. Let me see. Try Mancini. Yeah. You know what? We'll just keep these lines. So that's good. We could try to get Kapanen in there too. Maybe if Evans done nothing, 2 points, 2 points. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But yeah, he in his last few games has been pretty good. So let's see, split stats, game logs. Like he's been scoring. Yeah, last 4 games he has a goal. Let's see if he can continue this run. We'll actually try to get Barrett and Hayton scheme fit better there on the. Oh, that's play style. Oops. All right, so we won't be able to do that. But let's see how he'll play. The series right now is tied 2-2. So let's see. We're back in Florida. First period, 2-0. Caulfield, Slavkovsky. There you go. Power play goal, 5-on-5. Second period, Texier, Demidov. There you go. And we ended up at 4-1. A much better performance. Montembeault the first start. Don't know with 2 points. He's definitely been the best center. Texier with an injured knee, May 18th. Another injury for Texier. That's fine though. We have Kapanen, who I was thinking of actually putting in anyways, but that's fine. He can slot in there perfectly. So we're up 3-2 now on the Florida Panthers. We're simming to the next game there. In the Bell Center, first period, no goals. Second period, 3 goals for the Florida Panthers. All right. Let me see who had the minuses. Dobson with the -2. Hudson, Suzuki, Caulfield, Kapanen, Nyes, Bain, Balinskis, Jack-Eye. All right. Heading to our second game 7, and Lawson Krause still being our guy with 11 points, tied with Brad Marchand. Makes you wonder, do you put, do we put Krause up? But I think he's probably simming well enough. We'll try, Slavkovsky on that first line now. Do we separate? They've been simming well together. But yeah, we'll try this. Mancini. Yeah, we'll try Mancini with Gouli up there, a shutdown pair again. Struble hasn't played a game. What's Jack-Eye been doing? 39 penalty minutes. All right, we'll see. Maybe we put in. All right, we'll try Balinskis and Carey. I don't think I've tried this pair yet. So game 7, we want to maybe reduce the amount of penalties we're taking. First period, capping it with a big goal. There you go. No goals there for the Florida Panthers or Montreal. Heading to the third period. Demidov with a huge goal at the start of the third period in Game 7. Caulfield with another. Wow. 3-0 Montreal with 12 minutes left to go with a power play. And there you go. Balinskis scores on the power play. There you go. 4-0 Montreal. That's all she wrote. Will Montreal get the shutout? Yes, he will. And Montreal is moving on to the third round of 22 save shutout for Montembeau. There you go. I'm in year one, and we're simming really well right now. We're gonna face the Philadelphia Flyers. I'm actually kind of surprised they made it this far because we're now in the Eastern Conference Finals. Colorado and Vegas in the Western Conference, which kind of makes sense. But I want to take a look at Philly's team. Mishkov, Zegras, Konechny. I mean, they didn't really make any moves actually, but I guess their top guys are doing well. Mishkov pretty good. You know, Mishkov versus that second line is good too. Mishkov versus Demidov. Let's see, 11 points. They had 54 points too. York Samham, Juracek they acquired. You know, high top four defenseman. They acquired for not much from for Bobby Brink on Minnesota. Their goalie, definitely a huge issue for them. They have Dan Vladar, but he's currently injured. We could take a look at his injuries. What was he doing in the playoffs? Yeah, it was a 9.39 save percentage. So they also have Drysdale on the bench. I don't know about all that, but I definitely play him over like a Ristolainen. But that's just me. Offensive defenseman, yeah. Let's check Vladar. That's gonna be huge because Ersson's definitely not the goalie that Vladar is. So we'll go to injury reports. Check out his injury. It's a sprained wrist, May 31st. So he's not gonna be back for like the whole series. That's good for us, I guess. Let's sim this game. First period, Mishkov with a first goal. Second period, Zegras. And we get one back, Evans, but we lose game one. So, I mean, that's fine, you know, could be worse. We'll take a look. I know Kapanen scored a huge goal for us in that third round. It's pretty much all he's done, but that's fine. Barry Hayden's still a minus 8 in the playoffs. It's interesting. If we do like we could move up Evans, but he's having a good time on that third line, our fourth line, sorry. Yeah, I think we'll roll with this first line. Dobson, Gooley, Mancini. I like this third pair a lot. We'll see. We could try a Struble. You know, we actually haven't played him in a while, so try Struble there on the second pair. Game number 2, Philadelphia. First period, Sealer. Second period, there you go. Suzuki power play goal, big goal. Head into overtime now, and 2-1. The former Montreal Canadian Christian Dvorak scores in overtime. All right. So unfortunately, we lose the first 2 games. I just want to see actually. We are having a little bit of issues in the defense. You know, we could bring up a guy like Reinbacher or Angstrom to try out. You know, I mean, Reinbacher theoretically, you know, he's probably gonna, you know, we could send down Mancini. He's on a 2-way contract, but he does have waivers. I'd honestly be okay with losing Struble. I mean, we're not really using him. Yeah, he doesn't even get claimed. All right, let's see. Like it's kind of risky to play, you know, Reinbacher here, but I think it should be fine. We'll just get him to do the scheme fit here. It'll pretty much be his NHL debut. Technically it doesn't count, but it will go, you know, on his stats. There you go. Second pairing, boom. Let's get Slavkovsky, nice. I think we'll do something like this. Slavkovsky, nice. Kraus. Okay, there you go. Okay, well, David Reinbacker's technically first NHL game in Montreal in the Eastern Conference. Let's see what he can do for us. Lawson Krause, the big goal. Dvorak 1-1. There you go. Dobson, Caulfield, Suzuki, 3 goals in the second period. And another one, Suzuki, a great game for that first line. 3 points, 3 points. And Montebo shuts the door. Let's see what Reinbacker did. He was playing 19 minutes, had 2 shots. Pretty good game for him. Didn't really do. Took uh, two penalty. Or I mean, a penalty. There's 2 penalty minutes there, but that's okay. As long as he's not a huge liability on the team and he's just playing well with Gooley, then that's fine. Another game here in Montreal. First period, to know with a big goal. Dvorak scoring a lot of goals against us. We'll do a slow sim here for the third period. And Cam York gets on the board. Lawson Krause right after him on that power play, but Konechny gets one back. A lot of back and forth action here in the third period. Montreal somehow tied up here in the Bell Center. Huge goal for whoever scores here with 4 minutes left. Doesn't look like we'll get it done, unfortunately, and the game will end at 3-2. Alright, so we actually are having some difficulty even with Samuel Urson there. 3-1 for the Philadelphia Flyers. We'll see if we can make some changes here real quick. Maybe we get Demidov there. Yeah, I mean, it's not much we can do. Bolduc, get Evans up there. Maybe Olivier. Yep, he hasn't done much, so we'll get Texier in the lineup. Hudson, Dobson. It's a -1. Okay, we'll do something like this. Carrier, Gooley, Balinskis, Jack-Eye, Reinbacker. The +4. All right. And this could be the end of the playoffs for us. Elimination game. First period, Zegers on the power play. Second period, Slavkovsky with a big goal. Caulfield right away on the power play. There you go. Montreal has their first lead of the game. And Nick Seeler ties it up quickly. 2-2 game. Power play for Montreal. Huge power play here. They can't get it done. Oh my god, a 4-minute power play. They cannot get it done. And we're going overtime. We will not be watching this one though. We'll just quick sim it. And unfortunately, Owen Tippett scores, and the Montreal Canadiens are eliminated from the playoffs. Well, there you have it, folks. Our playoff hopes and dreams are done. Honestly, for first year one, Eastern Conference is a great way to head out. Roster isn't complete whatsoever. We'll honestly take it. And Vegas actually sweeped the Colorado Avalanche, but it doesn't matter because the Philadelphia Flyers are going to be your Stanley Cup champions in the year 2026. Wow. That's crazy. And because President's Trophy is won by Tampa, who we beat. So that's a lot of different things seen there. Calder goes to Demidov last year with Hudson. So back-to-back Calders for the Montreal Canadiens, which hasn't been done ever by a franchise or any team in the NHL. So that's really cool to see. That's when the future's bright. And there you go. Samuel Montembeault, the Vezina winner. Where did the goalkeeper judge to be the best at his position is voted by the general managers of each of the NHL clubs. So, I mean, we could really use this as trade bait, or we keep him and we have Fowler as the backup next year. It's definitely going to be an interesting situation there. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see now the draft class. We'll probably do the draft here and then end off the episode number 2. But yeah, not really seeing much there. We still have our first round pick actually, so wow, a lot of trades with the picks. Vancouver via Minnesota, Washington via Anaheim. That's I think the Quinn Hughes trade, the John Carlson trade, Carolina, New York. I think that's Keandre Miller, St. Louis and Detroit, that's going to be the Justin Falk trade. So maybe that's why you don't go all in at the trade deadline, because you end up trading your first round pick and then that happens. You don't make the playoffs. There are a lot of guys retiring here. Anze Kopitar, it's definitely a Hall of Famer there. None of our guys will be retiring here. Let's see if we lost any coaches. Montreal Canadiens, Laval Rocket. No, we should be good. Year number 1, Vlasic for the Senators as a coach. All right. Well, we'll pretty much get the draft started. Entry draft. Cracking here. What the turn is for Vince Dunn. We'll see. If there's anybody available for trade, maybe that we catches our eye. Maybe we'll see someone. Not seeing much. Like Salayev still is available. I was looking at him earlier in the year. It's a minor top 4 defenseman. I think his stats just aren't that good. He's 6'7", which is nice, but yeah, not that interesting. Liam Greenstreet and Malcolm Spence. Power forward, we really have enough of those. We have Kraus, Nye, Slavkovsky. So Christian Dvorak has a good offseason and a season for them, actually. Pretty good, 8 points. But they're not even interested in him. But his contract's kind of all over the place. No trade clause and 20 team on one team. Like, it's weird for sure. It's definitely weird. But yeah, not a guy we're technically looking for. Machar there. Toronto doesn't even want to trade any of their players there. Kirby Dach gonna stay put, as well as Matheson. 86 overall. Let's see, Daniel Butt. Let's see, or Boot. Let's see, 78 overall, power forward. I mean, he's 6'6". Maybe if he wasn't a power forward, we could take a look at him. But Caleb Desnoyers. Okay, this is a Quebec native too. A playmaker center, 6'3". This is an interesting name here. Let's see what they are interested in. Are they interested in my first round pick? Let's see. Or not, but they want my third. Skaters match the block. Is there anybody that'd be interested in trading? Evans' trade value went down a lot, I think. What if we traded you like Jake Evans? Let's see who else. Like a Struble. Definitely had to give them like a second or something. Not willing to trade any of these other guys. I could trade you Texier too, but yeah, if I trade you Evans, Struble, Texier, he had 23 points, and then it's pretty good for him. And then I give you a second, or it'd probably be a first, honestly. This is probably what you trade for a Caleb Desnoyers. Evan Struble, Texier, a first, and I mean, this is like a top prospect, so I'd probably have to go up even a little bit more. Fowler, Dobes. Oh, Gavin McKenna goes to. Oh my God, he goes to San Jose. That isn't even fair. All right. I'm trying to think what else I can add here. They don't want any of the rookie goalies though. I'll add in Radkov too. So you get, a 18-year-old prospect goalie. You don't really have that many except for this guy. He's 6'7" too, but you don't even have a backup in the system, so that's good. In terms of forwards, do you guys have good depth? Not really. I mean, in terms of centers, you have centers for sure. Not even, actually. You only have Cooley, so then you get Jake Evans could be a second or third liner. You get a right winger, and Texier. You get Struble is a good depth guy there. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You get a prospect as well from that first rounder. I mean, I think this is a good trade for Montreal. We get maybe a potential second line center in Caleb Desnoyers. We also made another trade with them. They have Philip Machar. They want to trade their first rounder, actually, which is the 19th overall. What if we got Caleb Desnoyers, a first, 19 overall, Evan Struble, Texier, first and radical. I don't think this will go through, but we'll try it. Rejected. What if we added a third as well? Rejected. Yeah, I don't think we can get this done, but I don't want to fleece the computer anyway, so I mean, I think it's okay if we ask for like a third next year. That's for actually, I'd rather Toronto's. I feel like they won't be that good next year, but if we did this, I think this is fair. You know, you get Texas Struble Evans, a first, a goalie for your prospect, and a third. Will this go through? Trades rejected. We take out. I think this has to go through. Oh, rejected still. Okay. If we give you my third as well this year, there you go. That's a blockbuster trade for just Caleb Desnoyers, the Quebec. I believe he's from Montreal or he's from Quebec. He's at 76 overall, you know. Had a really good year, 108 points in the QMJHL. You know, he's big, 6'3", so he definitely fits on Montreal. This is the type of trades that, you know, we're looking for. Just happens to be Utah that's making all these trades with us. So, I mean, yeah, it's a good trade. I didn't really plan on drafting, you know, this year anyway. Stenberg, 83 overall, goes to the Buffalo Sabres. Wow, they're going to be a really scary team. Same with San Jose, who has McKenna now. That's actually crazy. Let me go look at their lineup. I don't know if it's still there, but yeah, the San Jose Sharks, they have what? Celebrini, McKenna, Will Smith, Eklund, Misa, Dickinson, Wenberg, Toffoli. They just need another defense. Yeah, their defense is horrible. But like, let's see their center: Celebrini, Misa, Wenberg. It's just their forwards are. Look at that top six. One, two, three, four, five, and they just like get Chernisov, Musty. Like, oh my days. They have Ravensbergen and Askarov. It's crazy, man. That's just crazy. Dude, just send these picks. Reed. Smith goes to Washington. Rudolph. No, I don't know. Misclick there. Let me just see in the draft. Is there anyone that we know is going to be good? High Elite. Marcus Ruck. Balecki. Mason Roy, 3 years. Enforcer. Oh yeah, Coupland, 5 years, medium elite. Reed. We'll definitely take a look to draft both these guys. Two medium elites, so 103 we can make that pick there. In the fourth round we're gonna get those medium elites, but they're 5 years away. Could be good trade bait, you know. In case we get into another blockbuster. I think we traded, yeah, this is the guy they selected with the 29th pick. Xavier Villeneuve. So they get a defenseman, offensive defenseman. That's a good trade for them, honestly. Maybe it fills a need that's more important to them in Utah there. I'm trying to see if they have any other picks here. Or anyone interesting that went. Oh, okay, medium elites, goalies. Another goalie for Philly. That's good on them. They get this another offensive defenseman. All right, so we'll make our pick here. Some medium starter too. Barishev, 3 years. Yeah, no. All right, so first guy, this guy could be good, but we'll just go for Coupland from Switzerland. Eddie Coupland, the first pick as the GM of the Montreal Canadiens, and he's a medium elite, so that's great for us. Sim to 125. I saw a 70 overall, I think. Or yeah, 72. Galvez, offensive defenseman. It's pretty good for St. Louis. I mean, it's like really small, 141 pounds. It's good. Yeah, nothing that worthy to note. Stevens, 3 years. Yeah, we'll just select this other guy, unless. Yeah, no, we have to pick him here. I'm curious to see what this Mason Roy. What will he go? Defensive defenseman, 52 overall, medium elite. Another good pick there by us. Picked up Dumoulin. Okay, let's see. Fourth round. Picked our guy. Anybody else? Let's see where what Roy was. He could be medium elite, but probably not. Yeah, seventh defenseman, so it's good we didn't waste a pick on him. He's pretty useless. Make our pick here. See if there's anyone, guaranteed top six, maybe top nine. Any gems? Nope. Let's see. Most we're seeing is bottom six is seventh defense. So take a shot at one of these guys. Tomi Niemann or Ramo Petinen. I don't think we picked any forwards, so we'll pick this guy. Bottom six. Yeah. We have one more pick. Probably pick that other guy. Defenseman. He's still available. Yep. So we'll go with him. Seventh defenseman. All right. That's fine. A good draft here. So yeah, I think that's gonna conclude episode number 2. We had a pretty good draft, 2 mini elites there, a really good off season, really good playoff run there. Made it to the conference final against Philly, and they ended up winning the cup. And I think there's a lot, you know, there's a lot to look forward to in this young Montreal core. What we're building here, definitely gonna look to strengthen up that defense, especially a right shot defenseman is what we're gonna be going after next. You know, and yeah, maybe Reinbacher can fill that, or he'll be a top 6 defenseman next year, hopefully. But yeah, I also saw Jacob Fowler was up to an 81 overall, so maybe we'll see him make the jump, and we'll have a predicament there as we have 3 goalies, NHL goalies, so we'll figure out what we'll have to do there. So yeah, stay tuned for the next episode. And yeah, leave a comment down below if you guys have any suggestions on what I should do next. But yeah, let's just see before the episode ends if there's any interesting pending free agents. So not Jacob, Jason Robertson actually. We'll have to see if he gets re-signed or if he's gonna be, RFA. We got Makar, Kucherov, Hughes, a lot of good guys there. McDavid, 3 years away. That would be insane if he joined this core, but he'll most likely just re-sign with the Edmonton Oilers. But yeah, also Alex Tuck would be a guy we acquire, but he's a power forward. We got enough of those. But yep, stay tuned for episode number 3, where we do the off season and get ready for year number 2 of the franchise mode. See you guys soon.